Hello, this training will cover an overview of Arizona. The purpose of this training is to orient public health professionals to Arizona who may be newer to or unfamiliar with the state. This presentation highlights the diverse geographical makeup of populations and resources in Arizona so that those working across the state can better understand the communities and resources of the Arizonans they serve. You will be hearing from 5 members of the Arizona Department of Health Services Office of Rapid Response Disease Investigation Team, including myself, Jonna Perino, Isabel Moya Gonzalez, Nikki Engels, Tatiana Gonzalez, and Diane Mendelson. Next slide. We will start with general information on the state of Arizona. Arizona is the 6th largest state, covering over 113,000 square miles. Arizona was founded as the 48th state on Valentine's Day, 1912. We are one of 2 states that do not observe daylight savings time. Hawaii is the other state. Arizona is known as the Copper State or Grand Canyon State. Next slide. Arizona is comprised of 15 counties with varying populations. Although some counties look large on the map, they do not necessarily have a large population. For example, Maricopa is considered a mid-sized county, but is the most populated county in Arizona with over 4.6 million people. Next slide. There are multiple census-designated places throughout Arizona, also known as CDPs. These are unincorporated communities that are equivalent of incorporated places. They have active functioning government structures. Next slide. Next, Isabel will go over the types of resources that can be found through Arizona, including grocery stores, landmarks and destinations, schools, military bases, and hospitals.
Thank you, Jonna. So I'll cover a couple of the major grocery stores in Arizona. So we have Sprouts, Bash's, Sam's Club and Costco, Target, Fry's, which you might hear called Kroger or Smith in other states, Safeway, which could be called Albertsons or Vons in other states, and Walmart. Next slide, please. Landmarks and tourist destinations. Arizona has 22 national parks and monuments, including Grand Canyon, Saguaro, and Petrified Forest National Parks. The Grand Canyon National Park, which is located in Coconino and Mojave counties, is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and the only one in the U.S. They received over 4.7 million visitors in 2022. And visitors can be anyone from local Arizona residents to visitors from all around the world. A list of national parks and more information about them can be found on the National Parks website. Next slide, please. Here we have just a few notable tourist destinations and landmarks with their locations around the state. The Four Corners Monument can be found on the Navajo Nation and within Apache County. Arizona Snow Bowl, which is located in Coconino County, and Lake Havasu and London Bridge, which is located in Mojave County. Next slide, please. Next, we have Havasu Falls, which is located on the Havasupai tribal lands and within Coconino County. The Biosphere, which is located in Pinal County. We also have Major League Baseball spring training with various locations around Maricopa County. And Antelope Canyon, which is on the Navajo Nation and within Coconino County. Next slide, please. Lastly, we have Lake Powell, which is in Coconino County and also a bit of the southern end of Utah. And lastly, historic Route 66, which traverses various small towns and cities along northern Arizona. Next slide, please. State universities. So Arizona has 3 public state universities located throughout the state. Starting on the north end of the state, we have Northern Arizona University, which is located in Flagstaff, Arizona State University in Tempe, which is just outside of Phoenix, and University of Arizona on the southern end of the state in Tucson. Each university has a main campus and satellite campuses throughout the state. There are also 25 private universities, not including community colleges and tribal institutions. Next slide, please. Arizona is home to 7 military bases. And again, starting on the north end of the state, we have National Guard Camp Navajo Military Reservation in Coconino County, Luke Air Force Base in Maricopa County. We have Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Pima County, Fort Huachuca Army Base in Cochise, and Barry M. Goldwater Air Force Range, the U.S. Army Yuma Proving Ground, and the Marine Corps Air Station Base, which are all located in Yuma County. Next slide, please. Arizona hospitals. There are about 124 hospitals in the state. Banner University Medical Center in Phoenix has the largest bed capacity with over 700 beds. Next slide. So here we have a table of Arizona hospitals by county. You can see that Maricopa has the most hospitals at 50, while smaller counties like Graham and La Paz only have 1. Next slide. Hospital networks in Arizona. So there are a few hospital networks found around the state. We have Abrazo in Maricopa County, Banner in Maricopa, Pinal, and Pima County, Carondelet in Pima County, Northern Arizona Healthcare, located in Coconino County, Dignity, located in Maricopa County. We also have Northwest Medical Center in Pima County, and Honor Health, which is located in Maricopa County. Next, I will turn it over to Nikki, who will cover some cities and tribal nations across the state.
Thank you, Isabel. So some major cities in Arizona. There are several major cities in Maricopa that include Phoenix, Scottsdale, Mesa, Chandler, and Tempe. We also have Tucson in Pima County, Sedona in Coconino and Yavapai County, Flagstaff in Coconino County, Yuma in Yuma County, and Kingman in Mojave County. Next slide, please. There are 22 tribal nations that reside in Arizona. The names and locations are shown on this slide. Next slide, please. Now, there are also numerous cities, towns, and CDPs that are considered part of the greater Phoenix area. They are also shown on this slide. Next slide, please. Now, there are also numerous cities, towns, and CDPs that are considered part of the greater Tucson area. They will be found on this slide as well. Next slide, please. Now, Flagstaff. Flagstaff is located in northern Arizona, about 150 miles north of Phoenix, and about 80 miles south of the Grand Canyon. Flagstaff elevation is approximately 7,000 feet. Flagstaff is home to the Lowell Observatory, known for the discovery of Pluto. On average, 100 trains pass through Flagstaff each day. Next slide, please. Kingman was founded as an Atlantic and Pacific Railroad town. Kingman was named after a railroad surveyor, Louis Kingman. Aviators Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart dedicated Arizona's first commercial airport on Route 66 in Kingman in 1929. Kingman is known as the heart of historic Route 66, which is named Andy Devine Avenue through Kingman. Next slide, please. Yuma is located approximately 10 miles from the Mexican border town of Los Algodones. Yuma County is the third largest producer of vegetables in the nation and actually supplies the United States with about 90% of their lettuce grown between the months of November and March. Yuma is surrounded by real-life ghost towns. Next slide, please. Prescott is known for its authentic cowboy history, Whiskey Row, moderate climate, and convenient livability. Prescott was named in honor of historian William Hickling Prescott, a man who lived and died in Massachusetts, and by all accounts, never set foot in what would become the territory of Arizona. Now I'll go ahead and pass it over to Tatiana.
Thanks, Nikki. Now let's move on to the smaller but very unique cities and towns of Arizona. One thing to keep in mind is that there are many small towns and cities in the state, and most are still bustling with the business that got them started. So this is things like mining or cattle ranching. While many still have the initial business, Many of these towns have also reinvented themselves as tourist destinations. The following slides are examples of a few. Next slide. White Mountains. Located in the eastern part of Arizona, about 175 miles from Phoenix and 195 miles from Tucson, are the White Mountains. The drive takes about 3 to 4 hours, depending on the route taken. Cities, towns, and CDPs found here include Heber Overgaard, Show Low, Pinetop Lakeside, Greer, St. John's, Springerville, Eager, Alpine, Snowflake, and Taylor. Next slide. Within the White Mountains, there are a few grocery stores that include Safeway, found in Pinetop Lakeside and Springerville, Bashas', found in White River, Eager, and Show Low, Walmart, found in Show Low and Taylor, and several small grocery stores in the general area. There are 3 hospitals that can be found here: the White Mountain Regional Medical Center, located in Springerville, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, located in Show Low, and White River Indian Hospital, located on the Fort Apache Indian Reservation. Next slide. I mentioned various cities within the White Mountains, but it's important to note that this does not mean that they're all in the same county. Navajo County is home to Pinetop, Lakeside, Heber Overgaard, Show Low, Snowflake, and Taylor. In Apache County, we can find Eager, Springerville, Greer, St. John's, and Alpine. Next slide. Now, moving on to the town of Globe and its sister community, Miami, both of which can be found within the Gila County. Globe was founded in 1875 as a mining camp, and there are a total of 4 mines in the town. As a result, more than 20% of employment in Globe and Miami is in mining. There are a few major grocery stores in Globe that include Fry's and Safeway, and about 7 miles from Globe, located in Claypool, there's also a Walmart. Something to note is that the Cobra Regional Medical Center is the only hospital located within Globe. Next slide. From Phoenix, Globe is about 88 miles away and about 107 miles from Tucson. The map snapshots on this slide give a brief look at the route from Phoenix and Tucson to Globe. Next slide. Now let's talk about Sahuarita, a town located in Pima County. This town is about 15 miles south of Tucson and about 60 miles from the Mexican border. In total, the town is about 30 square miles and has a population of over 30,000 people. Some grocery stores that can be found in Sahuarita include Fry's and Safeway. A Sprouts grocery store is also available to those from Sahuarita, but it's located in Green Valley, the CDP. In Sahuarita, you'll find the Desert Diamond Casino and one hospital, the Northwest Medical Center. Next slide. Next, we'll talk about San Luis, a small city located in Yuma County. San Luis can be found at the southwest corner of Arizona and about 25 miles north of the Mexican border and 22 miles south of the city of Yuma. San Luis borders the Colorado River and the state of California. There are 2 major grocery stores in San Luis that include King Market and Food City. There is one hospital near San Luis, the Yuma Regional Medical Center. And a little fun fact is that there are casinos in Yuma, California, and Mexico, all of which are very close to San Luis. Next slide. San Luis is about 204 miles from Phoenix and about 256 miles from Tucson. The map snapshots on the slide detail the common routes from San Luis to Phoenix and Tucson. Now I will pass it on to Diane to talk about the town of Safford.
Thank you, Tatiana. Safford is a mining town located in Graham County, which is in the eastern portion of Arizona. It's located 165 miles from Phoenix and 82 miles from Tucson. The closest major airport is Tucson International Airport. Mount Graham Regional Medical Center, located in Safford, is a small 25-bed community-based hospital serving both Graham and Greenlee counties. Major grocery stores in Safford include Safeway, Bashas', and Walmart. Nearby cities and towns include Fort Thomas, Pima, and Thatcher. Next slide, please. The driving distance and actual distance from Phoenix to Safford is the same at 165 miles. The driving distance from Tucson to Safford is 127 miles versus the actual distance of 82 miles due to having to drive around the mountains to get there. Next slide, please. Now we'll talk about Florence and Coolidge. Florence and Coolidge are smaller cities located in Pinal County. The distance from Phoenix to Florence is approximately 62 miles. The distance from Phoenix to Coolidge is approximately 56 miles. Florence is best known for its large number of jails and prisons. There are 11 jails and prisons located in Florence. Major grocery stores in this area include a Safeway in Florence and a Walmart in Coolidge. Florence Hospital is a 36-bed hospital located in Florence, which was recently opened in July of 2019. Next slide, please. Bisbee is located in Cochise County and was founded as a copper, gold, and silver mining town. This town is located in the Mule Mountains at an elevation of 5,538 feet. Bisbee is 92 miles southwest of Tucson and only 11 miles north of the Mexican border. Bisbee is known as an arts and culture city, which has vintage shops and festivals. Bisbee is also known as home to the famous Copper Queen Hotel. Cities and towns near Bisbee include Douglas, Tombstone, Sierra Vista, Hereford, Kirtleville, and Naco. Next slide, please. Copper Queen Community Hospital, located in Bisbee, is a very small 14-bed community hospital. Grocery stores in the area include a Safeway in Bisbee, a Fry's in nearby Sierra Vista, and a Walmart in nearby Douglas. There are also several small grocery stores in Bisbee and the surrounding areas. Next slide, please. Arizona and Mexico share a border where there are 4 main border crossings, where the northern border of Sonora, Mexico joins the southern border of Arizona. These are Nogales, Arizona, and Nogales, Sonora, Douglas, Arizona, and Agua Prieta, Sonora, Lukeville, Arizona, and Sonoita, Sonora, and Yuma, Arizona, and San Luis Rio, Colorado, Sonora. Next slide, please. This concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for your time and for listening. We hope you'll find the information in this presentation beneficial.